Hi, I'm Joel Bloom, president of New Jersey Institute of Technology. At NJIT, we believe that not only our students, but all citizens need to be informed about the issues facing higher education. As New Jersey's Science and Technology University, NJIT is proud to support the important programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology, United Water, making the planet sustainable is the best job on Earth, Meridian Health, Cone Resnick, Accounting, Tax, and Advisory, where forward thinking creates results, Fedway Associates, the Fidelco Group, and by New Jersey Sharing Network, dedicated to saving lives through organ and tissue donation.
This is One-on-One.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
People like laughing at others, so I don't mind if the other is me.
See, you go right into the character. That's what it is.
I'm bringing families together a half an hour each week. Man, I'm doing something special.
And so I do feel successful.
Hi, I'm Steve Adubato with the greatest job in the world. What does that mean? It means I'm in the heart of Lincoln Center at the Tisch WNET studio, and I get to interview fascinating people like the woman you're about to meet on camera. For the first time with us, she is Alexandra Wilkis Wilson, co-founder and CEO of Glam Squad and the co-founder of GILT. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Curious, Glam Squad is?
We are an app that delivers beauty services to clients in 3 cities, New York, LA, Miami. Beauty services in the home, in the hotel room, in the office, wherever our clients might want to have them.
How do they get it?
So you download our Glam Squad app and you can reserve a time. It can be just a couple hours into the future, or you can plan about 28 days in advance. And for a very affordable price, given the luxury service that we offer, it's $50 for a blowout, we will deliver highly trained, vetted beauty professionals to your doorstep.
Who's the market?
So when I think of our clients, and I spend a lot of time with them, just learning from them and understanding what is it that they love so much about Glam Squad, we have 3 buckets. So we have the professional woman, and she could be very junior in her career or all the way up to the C-suite, doesn't matter, they're all interested. We have the busy mom, and then we have the young and social. And the reality is a lot of women fall into 2 or even 3 of those buckets.
It's interesting. You talk about going out there and talking to different women and understanding the market, you know. But you have this background, and before you started Glam Squad, you have this great background and track record of being very successful with GILT. You started the GILT group in 2007? So, right. You don't mind if I'll throw some numbers at you? GILT group did what?
So GILT was the first online flash sale company in the United States, and I was one of 5 co-founders, and what I did functionally was convince the best brands in the world to sell merchandise online in a very exciting appointment shopping format for amazing prices.
Well, let's just do this. In 2008, $25 million in sales. 2010, $425 million in sales. How's that happen?
So the GILT story was an amazing story of great ideas, incredible, dedicated, passionate employees who came together to pursue this very exciting vision of bringing the concept, the excitement of a New York City sample sale, bringing it to customers all across the country and ultimately all across the world. And so I, as an entrepreneur, love the moment where you're taking an idea that you believe in. I have to believe in it. I have to understand it. I'm much better when it's sort of a consumer-facing idea and figuring out, okay, how do you take that idea into a reality and really scale and hopefully hit that hockey stick of hypergrowth.
What do you love about it?
So
because for 90% plus of the time, it doesn't work. So what do you love about it?
I mean, it's true. Most startups fail. We all
By
know
far.
that. By far, especially it's very hard for female founders to get funding. They don't have a lot of role models, et cetera. So, you'd think all strikes are against you. But, I'm the type of person, I think we were so lucky in the story of GILT and certainly today in the story of Glam Squad of putting together an A+ best-in-class team. I believe no one can do it alone. Startups are really hard. I often call them like a roller coaster ride. You're going to hit, if you're an entrepreneur, you hit the highest professional highs you can ever possibly imagine. The little wins, they invigorate you, they give you that adrenaline, it's amazing. But in those moments when things go wrong, whether they be little setbacks or sometimes big setbacks, you never know, you really will experience the lowest lows.
It's interesting, as I listen to you talk about your passion for being an entrepreneur, the highs, the lows, the building of the team, I'm curious if you were to describe your leadership philosophy, how you approach leadership and your biggest leadership lesson, what would it be?
So I love learning from others and emulating from leaders that I've either had the experience of working with, around, for, or just reading about. And so, I think for me, I try to be an authentic leader. I try to lead sometimes very much from the heart. I'm also a mother. I think sometimes I have like motherly qualities. I care about my team. Obviously, I care about the business and the company. I care about the clients. I think both in the story of GILT as well as Glam Squad, when it's a services business, when it's a business that is every day of the week, even on holidays, you always have to care. And that caring, whether it be for your clients or your customers or your brand partners, really comes through.
Is it 24/7?
It's 24/7.
Being a leader, being the CEO, being the brand, is it 24/7? Because you talk about being a mom, you talk about this other part of your life. How the heck, because there's only 24 and there are only 7. So how do you pull that off?
Yeah, I mean, everyone always asks about work-life balance and how do people manage it, and I think
how do you?
I think it's a day-to-day experience, and I think there are going to be days where you have to be focused on one element, your job, your career. Maybe there's a big launch coming up. You could be fundraising. You could have some new bells and whistles from a tech feature that are being rolled out, and so it's very lopsided in terms of the professional. And then there are moments on the personal side where you have to say, you know what, I'm sorry to the team. Like, this is really important to me. This is a priority, whatever that might be. First day of school, maybe it's a sports game. And we have a culture at Glam Squad where we respect that of one another. We know that if someone's going to need to duck out of the office for a couple hours for a personal matter that's really important, they catch up. We work till midnight.
They're not on the clock.
Yeah, it's different.
Before I let you out of here, most important 3 lessons, 3 tips for a woman or a guy. They say they want to, hey, I want to do a startup. I want to do a startup. I've had this dream. I want to be an entrepreneur. 3 pieces of advice.
So 3 pieces of advice. Number 1, I'm a huge believer in building your network. I think that you're going to be as successful as those around you want you to be, and build that network in an authentic way. What goes around comes around. You help people. One day when you need help, that network is going to be really critical to your ultimate success. So that's number 1. Number 2, I would say if you don't ask, you don't get. And a lot of women are sometimes shy to ask for help when they need it. And number 3, I would say have fun. If you're going to go into some sort of entrepreneurial environment, whether it be a true startup or even an entrepreneurial project within a bigger company, do something you're really passionate about. So when that alarm clock rings, you are excited to wake up, get out of bed, and begin your day.
That matters also because when you have the rejections and things don't work well, that passion will get you through it. Alexandra, I want to thank you for joining us and wish you all the best with Glam Squad.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. This is One-on-One at the Tisch WNET studio right here on 66 and Broadway. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD. And follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
The play is 39 Steps. The actor is Robert Petkoff. How you doing?
I'm good.
Describe what we just saw.
This is really fun. Well, this is, Alfred Hitchcock's 39 Steps. It's based very closely on his movie. You got this hero, Richard Hannay, who's kind of bored with the world, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, that's me. I'm the hero, and then he meets this woman at a theater, and she sort of ends up sending him on this adventure. And what makes it different from the movie is that unlike the cast of hundreds that's in the film, that we only have 4 actors total.
Playing how many roles?
Playing about 100 roles. It's insane. The 2 guys that you saw there, dressed in the woman's outfit and other things, they play between them at least 75 to 100 roles.
You're the hero.
I'm the hero.
You're the dashing hero.
It's good to be the dashing hero with my little dashing mustache.
Yes.
Which makes life a little troubling in real life. When people see this, they're always a little perplexed about who I am. I feel compelled to explain, this is not my choice.
This is my work.
This is my work. This is my work. But
when I wear my makeup on the weekend, no, I'm joking. I'm sorry.
There it is. You go out in the makeup, don't you?
Yeah. Let's not talk about that. How about this? When did you know, or did you know as a kid, that you wanted to act?
I think it was in high school. I was a soccer player, and there was a girl I had a big crush on.
Where was this?
This was in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and she was in the theater stuff, and I thought, oh, hey, if I audition for those plays, maybe I'll get closer to her. And I auditioned and got into these plays. She didn't get into any of them, and I was stuck doing this. And I think the first time I walked out on the stage, a bunch of my buddies came, and they were cheering and yelling for me, and I thought, hey, that feels good. But it wasn't until my mother saw a play I did, and she was very moved by the fact that I was a very quiet kid, and then suddenly I was this different person on stage. Yeah, I was a little that period you go through in your teen years where you don't really talk to your parents and do all that. And so I came home one day after the show she'd seen, and she was very effusive about it. And I was terribly embarrassed by that, of course, but then I went into my room and I was like, oh my, that's amazing that my mom feels that way. And so I think all those little things sort of said, hey, this would be fun to do. And then I had a great high school teacher when I moved to Illinois who really encouraged me to take it more seriously, that it wasn't just games and fun, and Mr. Martinkus, Dan Martinkus. Isn't it great to be able to mention that teacher? Absolutely, and this guy, just terrific. He really did. He saw something in you? He did, I think he did, and more important, he just taught me to treat it like a professional thing, rather than just fun and games. And at that point is when it sort of deepened, and it became more, less about, oh, look at me, and more about, hey, there's something to discover here, something artistically to express. But you talk about expressing things artistically. You sing. Uh-huh. You dance? Terrible dancer. Are you terrible? Don't tell people, but I'm. But you sing and dance. I sing. Yeah, I've danced in a Broadway show, but they tailor it around me. Which one? In Spamalot, I had to do some dancing. Right. Yeah. I remember on the road, the woman who was in charge of teaching the dancing would tell new people when they came in, listen, if Robert Petkoff can do this, anyone can do this. See, isn't that great? That you're the role model. Yeah. The right kind. Getting to New York. Mm-hmm. Performing here for the first time. Describe it. Really thrilling. My wife and I met doing a play in San Diego. She's in The Biz? She's an actress, yeah. Susan Wands is her name. And beautiful, terrific actress. And we met doing a play in San Diego, The School for Husbands, ironically enough. And I was living in LA at the time. She was here, so I came out and said, I'll join you in New York, because I'd always wanted to be here. And I remember the very first show I did was an off-Broadway, off-Broadway. It was a showcase of Mrs. Warren's Profession. But there was that moment where it sort of hit me that I am on a stage in New York City, something I dreamed of doing, but never thought would happen. When I did my first musical, Fiddler on the Roof, on Broadway, that was the moment where I thought, this is beyond my wildest imagination. I was Perchik, the revolutionary. And I had only done straight plays for 15 years before that. I never thought I would get to do a musical. And I auditioned and got the job. And I remember that feeling, myself and John Cariani, who got the Tony nomination for playing the role of Muttle that year, we shared a dressing room, and both of us, it was our first Broadway musical together, and it was wonderful to share with someone who wasn't jaded, who wasn't, who was also as excited about that as I was. But that was a moment where you thought, okay, I did a musical or two in high school, and it was fun, but now I'm doing something I don't think I even dreamed I could get to do, and that was beyond thrilling.
Comedy, drama, preference?
Well, comedy, you get that great reaction. You say something in comedy and 400 people or 1,500 people burst out laughing spontaneously, and that is, that's the best high. Drama, there's a high that's more personal. I had the great fortune to play Hamlet in Chicago years ago, and you're exploring that person and that psyche and saying some of the greatest speeches ever written for an actor. There's less of a look to the audience for a response and more of a dig inside and try to find the truth of this guy. And then you get the audience's response at the end of the play.
And you also played Hubert Humphrey in All the Way with Bryan Cranston.
That was really great.
And Brendan Dearden, who was here, who played Dr. King.
Yeah, terrific.
He was great. Cranston, we couldn't get him, right?
Busy man.
Okay, but what a play.
Oh, yeah.
What was it like for you?
Unbelievable, because I had, first of all, just been a gigantic fan of Breaking Bad. And so when the audition came up, I thought, oh, I really want to be in this play somehow. And I auditioned for another role, and then they sort of brought me back in for Hubert Humphrey. And my first day of rehearsal, I thought it was just going to be myself and stage manager sort of teaching me where I would walk. And I came around the corner, and there was Bryan Cranston, the most ordinary, normal guy you've ever met. He's someone who never got spoiled by all of the great success he's had, because he's just a down-to-earth guy to begin with.
Where is it again?
39 Steps, Union Square Theater. It plays nightly, except for Tuesday nights, and it's a great comedy.
Who's it for?
Age 9 to 99.
Because?
Because because it does have that thriller beneath it. It feels like a serious play, but because it's 4 actors switching roles and doing all these things, it's filled with silliness. As one audience member said to me, it's magnificently stupid.
What a great testimonial.
Perfectly summed it up, and the kids just love it.
Listen, Robert Petkoff was in 39 Steps, based on a 1935 Alfred Hitchcock movie. Check it out at the Union Square Theater. Thank you so much for joining us. You made my job very easy.
Thank you very much.
Stay right there. Stay with us. We'll be right back for one-on-one at the WNET Tisch studio right here in the heart. You talk about being on stage, being on TV in the heart of Manhattan ain't bad either. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD, and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
Please welcome Alex Saper, the Chief Operating Officer of a great place called Eataly. It has 27 locations worldwide, and Eataly is?
Eataly is a place where you can eat, shop, and learn about all the wonderful products that we import from Italy. It consists of about 7 restaurants in New York, and we have retail areas as well. So we have, each restaurant has its own dedicated retail area. So where we sell our fruits and vegetables, we have a vegetable restaurant. Where we sell our fresh fish, we have a fish restaurant, and so on and so forth.
Started by?
It was started by Oscar Farinetti.
Tell everyone about Oscar. You were telling me before we get on the air. Fascinating guy.
Incredibly. He's a genius. He really had this incredible vision, I think back in 2002, actually. It started with a thing called Salone del Gusto, which happens in Torino, which is this huge slow food festival. And he wanted to bring the best food of Italy all under one roof at sustainable prices. So he's had an incredible career, and he's a visionary.
And by the way, some of the places we're talking about with Eataly, not only in New York, but Japan, Chicago, Istanbul, Brazil, Dubai, and expansion plans.
Yes. So actually, Eataly's opening in South Korea in August.
Hold on one second. as an Italian American who loves the kind of stuff you guys have, I have to ask, what is the potential market in South Korea for the kind of food you're talking about?
Well, look, I think Italian food is universal.
Is it?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, look, I spent a year in Japan, and so I really got a firsthand look at how universal it actually is. Obviously, the Japanese have a very different diet on a daily basis, but you would be hard-pressed to find people who don't love pizza and pasta. And if you do it in an authentic, simple Italian way, people respond really, really well to that. So that's not to say that people are going to necessarily buy olive oil in South Korea every day, right? But as an experience and being able to eat that sort of simple food that you see in Italy all the time, I think it's very successful.
And the team, describe the team involved.
In the U.S. or?
Yeah, the team that you guys put together. Is it it's a family operation? Because you were in finance.
Right.
How'd they pull you in?
So I was working at J.P. Morgan in real estate investment banking, and my brother knew one of the partners, and he told me to go see the store that just opened in 2007 in Torino, and I walked in and I absolutely fell in love.
What'd you love about it?
You know, there's something really special about what they put together in Torino and all over the world. It's quality. There's everything that's in there is really well thought out, and the idea of being able to eat what you can also buy and take home is really, it's something I had never seen before.
What do you mean? Explain that.
So,
give us an example of that.
You can go and you can sit down at the meat restaurant in Torino or in New York, and you can order a steak, and afterwards you can go and you can take that same steak home and cook it for yourself. The idea of everything, it's sort of like these old European central markets where there are some kind of little stands and you can go and you can taste things and then you can go and take them home. And that was really the initiative for this.
And think about it. So many people, I mean, you talk about people saying they don't have the time, people moving so quickly with technology being what it is, and people always in a rush to go where they're going or where they think they're going. When I thought about what it is you guys are doing, I thought people are sitting down and taking their time, and they're enjoying this experience. And what you're describing in Torino, I mean, in Italy, what you're really describing is a culture in Europe that, frankly, from my experience in Italy when I was there, people take their time. It is part of the culture to not rush. It's the opposite of everything that most Americans, particularly in the New York, I mean, I'm from New Jersey, we're on the move all the time. So I'm curious about, do people have to slow down to be in your place?
I don't think so. It's
not fast food, it's the opposite.
It is absolutely not fast food, but it's great food in a casual setting, and it's simple. I mean, yes, it's not fast food, but the truth is you're not talking about a 3-hour meal here either. You can go and you can have a pizza or a pasta, and you can be in and out in 45 minutes or whatever it is. But more than anything, you know, I think we have something for everyone, and I think that's what's amazing about Eataly. You can come in and you can get a $3 focaccia, or you can come in and eat at Manzo, which is the fine dining restaurant, and you can have, you know, a 4-course meal. And so I think it's how you want to approach it. And then, you know, we obviously have tourists that come in and, you know, want to eat at the restaurants, maybe take something home. And then it's incredible how many locals that we have that come in and do their shopping. And so you can be in and out as quick as you want.
But you also have some big names connected to it. Right here in the studio in about an hour or so, Lidia Bastianich, who is a star not only with our PBS family, but I mean, everyone knows who she is. She's been a great entrepreneur. She's a great chef. I mean, she just gets it. But she's involved with her son, Joe Bastianich, and Mario Batali.
Yep.
So how are they involved with Eataly USA?
They're partners, just like myself and my brother. They're very involved in the operations. They were integral in setting everything up. They have a huge structure, obviously, with something like 25 restaurants in New York, and obviously they have a great vision. And so they've really been the ones who have helped guide the food that we're putting out there.
And you also have a school, a cooking school?
Yeah, Lidia is actually the dean of the cooking school.
She's the dean of the cooking school.
So it's a huge part of our concept. It's very important that even if you go around the store, you see signs, there's a lot of communications about where our products are coming from and who's producing them. And
why is that important?
people need to know where their food is coming from. Too much in America these days, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know where it's coming from, who's producing it, and that, at the end of the day, is what leads to some of the problems we've had with people, you know, whether it's E. coli or all these things that...
Where does the food come from?
It depends. Obviously, you know, a lot of our dried products come from Italy. About 30% of our revenue comes from Italy, so from small artisanal producers in Italy. But part of our concept, especially when we go abroad, is finding the best local purveyors that we can. And so we have a lot of local meat, local cheeses, and obviously all the fruits and vegetables.
Before I let you go, real quick, the school again?
So the school, we do wine courses, cooking classes. Lidia comes in every once in a while, teaches classes. So it's an extremely important part of the concept to teach people about Italian food.
And who are these people who come in for as students?
Everyone, literally everyone. It's actually a huge, it's a big success. It's right on 23rd Street, and so you can rent it out for a private event, or you can take the class. We have classes 5 nights a week.
You were in finance.
I was in finance.
Wasn't your passion?
Was not my passion.
This is your passion?
It's my passion.
You're meant to do this.
I agree.
Good for you. Alex Saper is the Chief Operating Officer of a great place called Eataly. And thank you for Oscar Farinetti for making this happen. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you very
stuff.
much. Appreciate it.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by NJIT, United Water, Meridian Health, Cone Resnick, Fedway Associates, the Fidelco Group, and by New Jersey Sharing Network. Promotional support provided by NJ.com, Small News, Big News, True Jersey, and by NJ Biz, All Business, All New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.
I started feeling this pressure in my chest.
The doctors and the nurses that were attending to me, that they were of such excellence.
They were wonderful. You know, they put my mind at ease.
I owe my life to them. I don't think I really would be here if it wasn't for them.
Because of the way they handled everything, I think that's really why I'm here.
I felt that I was in good hands.